joining us right now, Honorable Adekunle Rufai Omaje, who is the national chairman of the Action Alliance. And it will be good before we go into this PIB to just hear your view, just very quickly. What's the view of the political parties on the electoral amendment bill passed by both chambers of National Assembly? Very quickly.
Okay. Actually, as far as we are concerned, in our own political party, Action Alliance, we believe that 2023 is still a long way. If NCC want to do something that can make everybody to use voting and submission, it can still be possible. But like National Assembly did, actually, it will be very wrong if some part of the country can submit electronically and some cannot. And actually, how do you want people to reason about it? It will still cause a lot of doubting in the credibility of the election. So I'm aligned with what the National Assembly did presently, that the INEC can still take a decision. And thank God, we have a very good man at the head of the commission today, in the person of Professor Mahmoud Yakub. You know, the man have tried a lot to make sure that all this rigging is minimized, if it cannot eradicate it completely.
Okay, very interesting conversation. Then let's just go to the meat of the matter, the PIB, 3% being resolved by the Harmonization Committee and then passed in both chambers. Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Basiru, in all of this, groups from the Niger Delta are saying that the National Assembly seemed to have superimposed its will over the decisions of a lot of people for 10% initially from the communities. Then it was brought down to 5% by the House of Reps, and then eventually it was 3% that was reached at the Senate, and then 3% at the Harmonization Committee. But let's not also forget that the executive had proposed 2.5%. So that means there was a 0.5% increase. And then there was a briefing by the Minister of State for Petroleum, and then there was also a briefing by the GMD of NNPC, which I remember at one of the briefings you said that when senators were informed that the quantum of money that will be coming in from that 3% will be about $502 million US, that you felt that it was okay for the host communities. Can you shed more light on that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sambo. You see, in this kind of situation, one needs to be circumspect, and one should try to look at issues in a more dispassionate manner. I will say that I'm a member of the Southern Senators Forum. At our forum, we push hard for 5% of the petroleum, OPEX to be what to bid for the host, community. And of course, the initial proposition that as you have said, was 2.5%. Of course, at the floor of the Senate, and even before that time, we did a lot of lobbying work among our colleagues, and some of our colleagues feel that yes, 5% is okay, but that it would be better to also have a second opinion from the Minister of State for Petroleum and also the NNPC GMD. And they came on the day that we were supposed to take the vote on the matter, and they made a presentation, and they gave us different scenario in terms of what those percentages would translate to in $1 million terms, because it's not when you talk of 1%. It depends on the quantum of what percentage that you are talking about. If I can still, remember on the top of my head, we had scenario of 2.5%, 3%, 3.5, 4%, 4.5%, and 5%. And in terms of the monetary translation, the 3% translate to $502.38 million annually. And then a caveat was stated to be that, yes, you can say 5%, but you could as well be 5% of nothing. If eventually our oil and gas industry is not competitive enough to attract the quantum of investment to even be able to get the 502.38 million dollars. I think that was the point that many senators felt that it is better we have what I call that 3% with what is translated to than to create a disincentive oil and gas market. So the decision was, as far as I know, was taken based on that presentation that was made by those who are the experts. I'm not an expert in oil and gas market, and even at that time when we voted, just like we had agreed at the Southern Senators Forum, I voted for 5%. But democracy is about what the majority say in that context. And you could also see, which is why when people try to sessionalize the debate at the House of Reps, majority are also from the APC, and majority possibly are from the northern part of the country, but they voted for 5%. So the debate about exercising or sectionalizing the argument of 3.3% or 5% should be taken to be that people took decision not out of ethnic or regional consideration, but out of the best information that they have. And that is my own interpretation.
Okay, now
of that.
One very controversial issue is also the issue of host communities. A lot of people have said that by the wordings of the bill that you have passed, host communities now mean that any community where pipeline crosses through all through the country is a host community, unlike what the oil producing communities are saying, that where you have platforms, at least maybe like 5 to 15 kilometers radius, where you have the oil platforms and then production pipelines and all of that, that should actually have been host communities as it was considered before. Can you clarify what that actually means?
The position of the law has not changed on that. I think it's unfortunate that we try to, just like the issue of electronic transmission, people try to model up. Now we even have an advancement on what we have before, and that is by